In today's video, I'll be showing you how to use modified tools in Revit Structure. So if you want to use modified tools, you are going to be going to Modified tab. This is Modified tab. Let's start with Structural wall. Let's assume I want to create a structural wall. Right now I am on level 1. So I am going to go to Structure tab and pick structural wall. You click on this drop down. Let's go to structure first. Click on this drop down. You will see wall structural. So click on it. And let's edit type. Let's duplicate it and give it a name, structural wall 25. That is the name, and click OK. Then click edit, change the thickness to 225. Then the material, you can change the material here. Normally the button is hidden, so until you click this point before you see the button. Okay, so you can start from any material here. I usually like to start with default wall, so right click on it and duplicate material and asset. Give it a name, structural wall. The name you give it doesn't matter much like that. Okay, and the color doesn't matter much. Let's just give it gray and we'll click apply. Let's click OK and OK. Let's click OK again. So we can draw now. If you like, you can click on this place so that these tools will appear. At this point, you can draw a rectangle. Okay, this is just a rectangle. And if you want to draw a straight line, you can pick this straight line. You draw a straight line. Okay, we'll be using this to learn some of our modified tools. Let's go to Modified tab. The first one we want to work on here is move. To move an object in Revit Structure is very easy. All you need to do is to select the object. For example, I selected this structural wall, and once it is selected like this, you hit the move icon on your ribbon and you are going to pick it. You can pick it from anywhere. You can pick it from here, you can pick it from here, and as you are hovering your cursor on some places like edge and any object, it will snap the edge, either the edge or the body. Okay, so if for example I want to move it from this corner to this corner, it means that it will move it with the exact dimension that is here. Okay, let me undo that so that you get it clearer. Assuming I have a wall here, I have a structural wall here, and let's see, the distance here is, let's make this one 3 meters, 3000 mm. Okay, and let's just move this one here like this. So okay, let me move this one on top of this one. Okay, so you see this wall. Now assuming I want to move this one by 3 meters, it's a question of selecting this wall and hit move to, then I will pick it from this corner. I will pick it from this wall to this wall. So you see that I have moved it by 3000 mm. Okay, now let's confirm that I actually moved it by 3000 mm. So I'm going to pick my dimension tool and check if it is actually moved by 3000 mm. I see. So it was moved by 3000 mm. Okay, so that is one of the ways you can use move tool in Revit Structure. Another way you can use move in Revit Structure is you can select move icon first before you select the object. And when you select the object, you right click and click finish selection. At this point, you are ready to move it now. So like I said earlier, you can move it by picking it from any axis. I can even pick it from here, and if I want to move it down by 1500, so I can type 1500 on my keyboard and press enter. It is giving this warning because there's a dimension before, so it will delete that dimension. That is why it is saying elements will be deleted. This element it is referring to is dimension. So I'm going to click OK, and that is that. I have moved it. Okay, now I've shown you 2 ways you can move in Revit Structure. Now the third way you can move in Revit Structure is you can use dimension to move an object in Revit Structure. So assuming I pick my dimension here, I picked aligned dimension, then I simply dimension this wall, and I want to move this wall. Let's assume that I want to make this space to be 3000 mm. So all I need to do is to select the particular wall I want to move, or it could be a wall, it could be a column, it could be a beam, whatever it is, or grid line that you want to move. It's a question of selecting that particular object. When you select that object, the dimension will be highlighted, ready for you to edit. So you can now click here to edit the dimension. Let's say I edit it to 3000. It will move that particular structural wall. Can you see that? This method can be applied to any object in Revit Structure. Okay, you can use this dimension to move any object you want to move in Revit Structure. Okay, so that is one of the ways you can move in Revit Structure. The fourth way you can move in Revit Structure is to click and drag. Okay, so assuming I want to move this wall now without specifying any distance, all I need to do is to select the wall, and I'm going to hold my mouse, the left part of my mouse. I'm going to press it down and be dragging it. You see, this is what we call drag. This is moving the object, though I cannot specify the dimension here. This one I'm just moving it arbitrarily. Okay, so these are some of the ways you can move in Revit Structure. Before we wrap up the class for today, let's go to how to copy in Revit Structure. The icon beside move is copy. Okay, this is copy. Assuming I want to copy, it could be a structural wall or any object in Revit Structure, you want to copy it. So all you need to do, the first way you can follow is you can select the object first. And once you select the object, you go to copy to, and like we did in move, you can also pick it from a particular reference point. Let's say this is a reference point we want to pick from. We click, and as I am moving my cursor now, you see that the object is also moving. Then I can now click where I want to drop it. You see that we now have a copy of it, but then the command is still on, is ready to copy again. If I still want to copy, I can still drop it. Okay, if I want to drop it here, I can also come and drop it here. So the only thing that will make me to go out of this command now is if I click on this modify icon, or I press escape on my keyboard. Okay, pressing escape or clicking on this modify will take you out of any command you are on. You can also right click and click cancel. Okay, so if you are on any command and you right click and click cancel, it will cancel that particular command. Okay, so I have taught you the first way you can use copy in Revit Structure. The second way you can use copy in Revit Structure is you can pick copy to first. Then when you pick copy to, you can now select the object. If there are many objects that you want to select, maybe many structural walls that you want to select or beams, you hold Control and select them as many that you want to copy. Okay, now when you are done with your selection, you can right click on any of them and click finish selection. Okay, so at this point it's ready to be copied. So if I click now, it means I'm going to be picking it from that particular reference point. Let's assume I want to pick it from this wall. Then this wall now become my reference point. So I click. Once I click, it is ready to move. And as I'm moving it, you see that I am actually moving a copy of it. The original copies are remaining. Okay, so the one that is about to move now is a duplicate copy. So once I drop now, you see I have a copy of it. So this is the second way you can use to copy in Revit Structure. So let me escape. Okay, I've gone out of that command. So let me show you the third way you can use to copy in Revit Structure. Similar to move command in Revit Structure, you can also use drag to copy. So if I drag now, if I select and drag now, you see I am moving it. Okay, but if I hold my control while dragging it, you see you have a copy of it. So if I hold my control and I start dragging it, so instead of moving it, it will copy it. This is one of the fastest ways you can copy in Revit Structure. You just hold control, first, then you now drag. It will copy that particular structural element. Okay, can you see that? So that is one of the ways you can copy in Revit Structure. Another way you can copy is you can use shortcuts. Let's assume I want to copy this wall. I can use shortcut while selecting the object. I can type CO. CO is copy in Revit Structure, so I can pick it from that point and drop it where I want to drop it. So if you want to gain access to our complete Revit Structure and Robot Structural Analysis professional training, I'm going to be leaving a video up here. Ensure you tap on that video so that you watch the video now. In that video, we showed you step by step how you can gain access to complete Revit Structure and Robot Structural Analysis professional. So if that is what you are interested in, why not? So click on it now to watch the video, and see you in the next video. Bye.